Hello and welcome to Frank's School. This may bring some memories back. This is where I taught the first year. Things have changed a little bit, but it's still the basement of a barn. Things are going to change a whole lot more. But anyway, why I'm down here is because I decided that I would show that auction yesterday that I spoke in German, because I thought I was going to only be doing it for my German friend. But anyway, here's what I bought. Here's what I bought. For these things, I paid, I think, $10 for all of them. And why I bought them, what they are is they're to go from side to side in a truck against the walls to hold a cargo from sliding back and forth. But for me, I have no truck. But for me, I'm interested in the idea that I've got a rack and a ratchet, and I think I can make them into like little jacks. Not sure about that. And these hose, there's three hose there, and a rake. There's a story to tell about those, so I'm going to save that for last. I did pay $4 for 4 hose and a rake at the sale. This piece, I paid $22 for it, and what it is, the motor, it said it worked. Now the electric connections have been taken off, but anyway, why I bought it was because of the reduction. A motor runs at 1750 RPM usually, and there's a reduction gear here. I don't know what that's going to reduce it to, but much slower than is going to come to here, and that goes into a reduction gear, so that by that time this winch goes real slow, and so it's stepping down from 1750 RPM to maybe, I don't know, 10 RPM, and it doesn't matter to me at all if the motor works. I'll take it off. What I'm hoping I can do is run it in the opposite direction and use the winch as the axle of a large water wheel. And then water wheels will turn at maybe 15, 20 RPM and then step it way up, because a lot of times the power you want nowadays is high RPM. So we'll see about that. Now, these two saws I got, in a moment I'll hook them up and I'll plug them in and see what happens. For this saw, I paid, I think it was, I might have paid $20. No, maybe it was 10. For that, I think I paid $22. Yeah, I think I paid $20 for this, maybe. And why I did it was partly because I have one just like it. I like the fact that the motor is separate and it runs by a belt. I much prefer that. And I have another one that I thought was identical to it that I've used a lot over here. It's almost my principal saw that I use the most. But a difference is, at first I didn't even notice. A difference is that this one has a jointer on the side. It has a jointer here. So it's a saw and a jointer both. And both blades are there, so it's probably in balance. And the linkage to make that happen is this stuff, which I'll have to figure that out. I mean, this is a cross feed. That's the cross feed. This is the fence, ripping fence. That I think is just the shield or something. But this stuff is. Has these two, or I guess this piece has to do with the linkage, and that I'm curious about. Unless maybe it just runs off of. It might just run off a pulley here. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But I had once tried to do something like that myself. But I have just used it. The very first saw I ever bought is underneath that blackboard, and what I did there was I built something where I put a jointer together with it. There's the end of the jointer, but then I ended up just using it to hold the blackboard for a year. I'll get that out. Well, anyway, I'm going to shut the... Oh, and the... for that, I paid, what did I say, $20, I think. And then for this radial arm saw, I paid $22, which I think was a heck of a buy if it works. If it works. Now, my German friend Shirley tells me that I need to film things from a distance, not just details, and I do forget that. Oh, and I'll come back to this, but another thing I want to tell you about is this piece here. I saw it sold, the exact same thing sold at the sale, except it had the metal bin. This is a burr mill. This actually you can take corn or other grain and you can make flour out of it. It comes out here. The burrs are inside there, and this turns, but it's missing the. I thought it was wood. But it's not, because the whole thing was there yesterday, and it brought $80. Now this I bought at a sale where burr mills were going for $200 and $300 that were complete, and this one I think I bought for $4. What you're looking at, I think I have $4 in it. All right, so I'm gonna back to the radial arm saw. We'll see in a moment whether the motor's good. It doesn't go real smoothly back and forth. I'll have to figure out why that is, but I can deal with that. My question is going to be whether or not the motor works. So we'll see in a moment. Well, on the table saw and the jointer, it works. It was left in an on position, and when I plugged it in, it turned on. But I'll just show you about that. Whoa. Sounds a little extra fast or something, but I'll see about that. Doesn't sound completely healthy. I can deal with that. Now, I'll see about this one in a moment. I'm not so sure here. Okay, here we go. I don't actually have too much experience with radial arm saws, but here we go. Aha! Well, it works. Doesn't sound too healthy either, but I can deal with that. I can replace the bearings if I have to. Well, good. For $22, I guess I did all right there. And for $20, I'm very pleased. I can't go wrong with this one, I don't think, for $22. Yeah, I think I did okay. And now there is a story to tell about these hose, but I think I'll go up to the house to tell that story. That sounds a little better. Maybe it just hadn't been running so long. I don't know. It wasn't going very fast, but then it smoothed right out. We'll see here. I'll turn it off. I'm standing back a little bit as I do this. Let's see if it starts as awkwardly again. I don't know, I smell a little something. Well, that sounds okay. I think that'll be all right. Oh, I left this on. I was sniffing the motor. I think it's all right. Well, something isn't quite right because it doesn't always want to go up to full speed. Not yet, anyway. There it went. Now it's up to full speed. Probably just needs use. At the sale, there's the lot number. He's the guy that brought it in. This is the guy, that was me, that bought it. That's the way that these work.